You're in a meeting. Your manager turns to you and says, "So, what do you think about this?" And your brain just stops. You know English. You've been studying for years. But in that moment, nothing comes out.
Or you're at a party. Someone asks you a simple question. So, what do you do? And instead of answering naturally, you spend 3 seconds translating in your head, then say something short and awkward, and hope they move on.
That feeling, that freeze, is one of the most frustrating experiences for English learners. And today, we're going to fix it.
Welcome back to Fluent Room. I'm Lily.
And I'm John. Today's episode is different. We're not just teaching you words, we're giving you a system, a set of real, practical tools for speaking English on the spot, without preparation, without freezing, and without losing your confidence.
This is the episode I wish I'd had when I was learning. Let's go.
Before we talk about solutions, let's understand the problem, because I think a lot of learners blame themselves when they freeze. They think, my English is bad, or I'm just not good at languages. But that's not what's happening.
What's actually happening is something called cognitive overload. Cognitive overload means your brain is trying to do too many things at once. When you speak in a foreign language, especially spontaneously, your brain is simultaneously trying to think of what to say, find the right vocabulary, construct the grammar, pronounce the words correctly, and monitor how the other person is reacting.
That's 5 processes at the same time. No wonder it breaks down.
And here's the key insight: fluency is not about knowing more words. Fluency, as we said in a previous episode, means speaking smoothly and naturally. And the path to fluency is not more vocabulary, it's reducing that cognitive load.
Making speaking feel automatic, so your brain doesn't have to work so hard on the mechanics and can focus on the actual message.
Exactly. And the way you do that is with systems and strategies. Strategies are planned methods or approaches for achieving a goal. Today, we give you 4 specific strategies that work immediately.
Let's start with the most important one.
Strategy 1 is the simplest and most powerful thing in this episode: learning to buy time. To buy time means to create a short delay that gives you a moment to think without making the other person feel like you've stopped or frozen.
Native speakers do this constantly, every single one. They just don't notice they're doing it because it sounds so natural. Let me give you the phrases.
The first group, thinking starters. These are phrases you say at the very beginning of your answer to signal you're thinking. That's a good question. Let me think about that for a second. Hmm, where do I start? That's interesting. I've never really thought about it that way.
Each of these buys you 3 to 5 seconds. That's enough time for your brain to find the first sentence. And once you have the first sentence, the rest usually follows.
The second group, mid sentence bridges. These are phrases you use when you lose your thread in the middle of speaking. What I mean is, what I'm trying to say is, let me put that a different way. Actually, to be more specific,
These are incredibly useful because they let you correct or rephrase something without stopping. To rephrase means to say the same thing again using different words, usually more clearly. Native speakers rephrase constantly. It doesn't sound weak, it sounds thoughtful.
the third group, fillers. Fillers are small sounds or words that fill a pause and signal you're still thinking and haven't finished. Um, er, well, so, right. You know,
The key with fillers is not to be afraid of them. Many learners try to speak in perfect, unbroken sentences, and when they can't, they stop completely. But a natural or well is far better than a long, awkward silence.
Use them. They're not a sign of weakness. They're a sign of a real human thinking in real time.
Strategy 2 is a structure, a simple formula you can use to answer almost any question in English, on the spot, without preparation. We call it point, reason, example.
It works like this. Someone asks you a question. You give your point, your main answer or opinion in one sentence. Then you give your reason, why you think that, in one or two sentences. Then you give an example, a specific situation, story, or detail that supports your point.
Let me show you. The question is, do you prefer working from home or in an office?
Without the structure, a typical B1 answer. I prefer home because it's comfortable. Yes. Short, awkward, finish too quickly.
With the structure, personally, I think working from home suits me better. That's my point. The reason is that I concentrate much more easily without the noise and interruptions of an open office. And for example, last year when I worked from home for 3 months, my productivity went up significantly, and I felt much less stressed.
Same person, same level of English. But the second answer sounds natural, articulate. Articulate means able to express thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively. And confident.
And here's the beautiful thing, the structure does the thinking for you. You don't have to decide what to say next. You always know. Point first, then reason, then example. Your brain only has to fill in the content.
This works for job interviews, class discussions, social conversations, presentations, any situation where someone asks for your opinion or experience. Learn this structure, and you will never be lost for words again.
Point, reason, example. Write it on your hand if you have to.
Not literally, but almost. Strategy 3 solves one of the most common reasons people freeze mid sentence. They reach a word they don't know in English, and they stop.
This is called hitting a lexical gap. A lexical gap is a moment when you don't have the word you need in the language you're speaking. It happens to everyone at every level. The question is not how to avoid it, it's how to get around it.
And the answer is circumlocution. Circumlocution means describing something using other words instead of the exact word you don't know. It sounds complicated, but it's actually very natural. You do it in your own language without thinking.
Here are 3 techniques. The first, describe the function. Instead of saying the word, say what it does. It's a thing you use to, it's a device that helps you. It's the process of,
So if you forget the word stapler, you say, it's a small tool you use to attach papers together. The person immediately understands. Conversation continues.
the second technique, use a broader word. If you don't know the specific word, use a more general one. Don't know the word reluctant? Say, not very willing, or not really wanting to. Same meaning, simpler words.
The third technique, ask for help directly. How do you say in English? Or what's the word for, or I can't remember the English word. It's something like asking is not a failure. Asking is a strategy.
And here's the important mindset shift. The goal of a conversation is not to use perfect vocabulary. The goal is to communicate. To communicate means to successfully share your meaning so the other person understands. If you achieve that with simpler words, you have succeeded completely.
Perfectly said. Imperfect words that keep the conversation moving are always better than the perfect word that stops it.
Strategy 4 is not a phrase or a formula, it's a daily practice, and it might be the most powerful thing in this entire episode.
It's called self talk. Self talk means talking to yourself. either out loud or in your head, in English, about your everyday life. And before anyone says, that sounds strange.
Every fluent speaker does this. When you think in English about what you're going to cook for dinner, or you narrate what you're doing, to narrate means to describe events as they happen. I'm making coffee, I'm gonna be late, I need to remember to call her back. You are doing low pressure, zero audience speaking practice every single day.
This is important because spontaneous speaking is a skill, and like any skill, it needs repetition. Repetition means doing something many times so it becomes automatic and natural. The more you activate English in your daily internal world, the more available it becomes in external conversations.
Start small. When you wake up, describe your morning in English, in your head or out loud. I'm tired, it's cold, I need coffee, I have a meeting at 10. 3 sentences. That's enough.
When you're on the bus, look around and describe what you see. The man across from me is reading a newspaper. It's raining outside. The woman next to him looks like she's going to work. You are training your brain to reach for English automatically.
And over time, weeks, months, that automatic reaching becomes the foundation of spontaneous speech. You stop translating. You start just talking.
Which is exactly what we want for you.
Before we go, the Fluent Room vocab roundup. The most important words from today. Let's lock them in.
Cognitive overload. When your brain is trying to do too many things at once and starts to break down. Speaking a foreign language causes cognitive overload. That's why we freeze.
Fluency. The ability to speak smoothly and naturally without long, uncomfortable pauses. Fluency is not about perfect grammar, it's about flow.
Strategies. Plan methods or approaches for achieving a goal. Today, we gave you 4 strategies for speaking without preparation.
Buy time. To create a short delay that gives you a moment to think without making the conversation stop. That's a good question is one of the best ways to buy time naturally.
Rephrase. To say the same thing again using different words, usually more clearly. If your first sentence didn't come out right, just rephrase it. That's completely natural.
Fillers. Small sounds or words that fill a pause while you think. Um, well, so, right? Fillers keep the conversation alive while your brain catches up.
Articulate. Able to express thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively. Using the point reason example structure makes you sound much more articulate.
Lexical gap. A moment when you don't have the word you need in the language you're speaking. Everyone hits a lexical gap sometimes. The skill is knowing how to get around it.
Circumlocution. Describing something using other words instead of the exact word you don't know. Circumlocution is not a weakness. It's a skill that all fluent speakers use.
Communicate. To successfully share your meaning so the other person understands. The goal is to communicate, not to be perfect.
Self-talk. Talking to yourself in your head or out loud in English about your daily life. Self-talk is the most underrated speaking practice, and it costs nothing.
Narrate. To describe events as they happen. Narrate your morning routine in English. It's 3 minutes of free speaking practice every day.
Repetition. Doing something many times so it becomes automatic and natural. Fluency comes from repetition. Small daily practice adds up to big results.
Spontaneous. Happening naturally, without planning or preparation. Spontaneous speaking feels scary at first, but with these strategies, it becomes manageable.
And the last one, activate. To make something start working or become available for use. Self talk activates English in your daily life, so it's ready when you need it.
15 words and 4 strategies that you can use starting today. Not next week, today.
Your challenge this week: try the self talk exercise for just 5 minutes a day. Describe your morning, your commute, what you see around you in English. Then write in the comments. How did it feel? Was it difficult? Did anything surprise you?
We read every comment, and we genuinely want to know how you get on with this one, because this exercise changes things.
See you in the next episode. Keep talking, everyone.
Bye.